Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? Hope you are having a great day. Ready for some new drama from Ask a Lawyer? Let's go to the first one, about OP's ex-husband's wife, who demands OP takes her children on vacation and does a crazy thing when OP refuses. Listen to the story to find out, and of course to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. Italian pasta and pizza. I, 39 female, have been divorced from my ex-husband, 41 male, for 9 years. We have 2 kids, 12 male, 9 female. My husband got married to his new wife, and they have 3 kids in total, 9 male, 5 female. They're expecting a 4th one. Me and my ex share custody of our kids, but within these 9 years, there has been a drastic change in our economic status. I got promotions and now earn near 6-figure, but my ex lost his job that caused his income to change and become low. His recent job pays slightly less than his previous one. Here's the issue. Since I can afford to buy a lot of things for my own kids, my ex and his wife doesn't like it. They say it is unfair to their own kids because they cannot afford to buy new things like I do, and all of the children should have the same stuff. Last year, I bought my son a laptop because he got the highest score in his exams. My ex didn't like it and told me that I'm spoiling my kids and making them into an entitled brat. The issue arrived because his oldest with his wife, 9 male, also wanted a laptop too. And for my ex, their money is tight. He is the sole provider in their house, and his wife is mostly a homemaker, but works part-time sometimes. However, it's not like I do this to show off. I do tell my kids to be humble about the things they got and not brag about them. I do buy gifts for my ex's kids on their birthdays and Christmas. In August, me and my entire family is planned to go to Italy. It is supposed to be a family vacation. I will be taking my kids with me. They are excited too. My ex had no problem until he called me and asked if I could take his kids with me too. I was kind of shocked. He explained that they cannot afford to travel, and his other kids were insisting that they go to holiday with us as well. They are sort of jealous of my kids for going abroad on a holiday. I straight up told him no, I won't be taking responsibility for someone else's kids. Though I make a lot more money than he does, I cannot afford the accommodation for 6 people. I told him his kids are none of my concern. After he hung up, I got messages from his wife calling me a cruel bee for ruining his kids' happiness, and said, "I hope you are happy making small children cry. God will be punishing a greedy witch like you." My dad thinks I did the right thing, but my mom thinks I went too far and told me not to take my kids so that their half-siblings don't hate them. My brother suggested that I pay half the price and let my ex pay the other half, which I know he will never listen. I rejected both the ideas. There's no way I would leave my kids for days to go on a holiday in another country. Was I really cruel? I know it was not the kids' fault. I understand their urge to go on holiday, but asking me to pay for an additional 3 kids is too much. Edit. Since people are asking, he did cheat on me when I was pregnant with my daughter. His new wife is indeed his mistress. I didn't mention it because I didn't think it was relevant to the story here. OP is not responsible for the children with his new wife. I think OP is very kind and generous in providing holiday gifts to ensure equality with her kids. OP has gone above and beyond, and they've gotten greedy and entitled. OP needs to stand her ground and tell them to leave her and the kids alone. Strict boundaries need to be set. The audacity of some people. And now let's hear if the community agrees with me. I say, I be says. If they want to be able to buy their kids nice things, they have a few options. 1. Ex can get a better job. 2. Mistress can get an actual job. 3. They can stop having bloody kids. None of those options are something you have any control over. It is incredibly inappropriate that they asked you for this, and to have the gall to be upset. Absolutely insane. I'd honestly stop giving their kids anything. They clearly think they're entitled to your money, time, and energy. Taking twin 5-year-olds on holiday is a lot of work. If they want their kids to have nice things and experiences, they have to work for them, just like you. You're not the a-hole at all. You'll be the a-hole if you help them. Also, tell your mom she's asking you to be a doormat, and remind her that if you were to do this for her ex's kids, you actually wouldn't be able to go. Even if you could afford to take them, what kind of precedent would you be setting? They'd expect you to take them every time, and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down on having kids. Fences make good neighbors. Also, the ex and mistress are being actively cruel and insulting you, and based on some comments you've shared, This isn't new. I'm beyond pissed on your behalf. Informal Disaster 8546 says, there is absolutely no reason at this point in time that you should not file for full custody. You probably have proof, and they aren't fit for so many kids and wouldn't even fight it. You say you can't see any mistreatment from them on your kids, but I can assure you it isn't always physical, and quite frankly, I find it hard to believe that they love being at their dad's house with his mistress and getting called spoiled because you can give them more. Your kids deserve to be in a stable household that can provide, and not berate them for simply having nice things. You said he is a good father. You probably keep telling yourself that. But if he was, he wouldn't have done that to you, and wouldn't let his mistress say things to you, and most of all, wouldn't say things to your kids, because he can't provide for his other family. On that note, tell his wife if she isn't careful and gets a job or something, then she will also get left behind by him. Mountain Educator 132 says, just take full custody of your kids, because that sounds like a toxic household anyway. Also, tell your mother and brother that if they want these kids to go so badly, then they need to watch them, pay for their tickets, and buy their food, since they want to tell you how to use your money. Stand your ground. Don't let them make you feel bad because they don't want to work. Update. So, yesterday, I went to my ex's house for picking up my kids. As I was there, his kids ran up to me and said that they were very excited to go to Italy with me. I'm confused. I never mentioned the trip to them, nor did I tell my kids I was willing to take their half-siblings with me. I called my ex and his wife and asked them to explain this. His wife was avoiding eye contact. I demanded an answer from her. She said that she cannot break their kid's heart by telling them the truth. I swear, I was furious. I had enough of this entitled attitude. I yelled at her and told her she must have had screws loose inside her head if she thinks she can walk all over me. How dare she use her kids as weapons? If she wants a break from babysitting her own kids, she should send them to her mom's house. I will not be a free babysitter for her kids. She did try to retaliate, but I was talking all over her. I cannot believe this woman would stoop so low. I screamed profanities at her. I was already having a bad day yesterday, and her entitled Karen behavior was the straw that broke the camel's back. I told my ex to fix the mess his wife made, otherwise I will take him to court. He tried to justify her intentions. I told him that I will stop sending gifts to his children if he doesn't fix this. I had been nothing but polite to his wife, knowing that she was the homewrecker that broke my home. But enough is enough. I'm done being nice to them. His 3 kids are not coming with me. That is final. I even explained this to my kids, who were a little sad, but understood. Later that day at night, my ex called and apologized. He was humiliated by his mother for this. He is a grown man, asking his ex-wife to provide for things he should be providing for his kids. He also had a fight with his wife because he didn't know his wife lied to his kids. He said he only had good intentions because he wanted all his kids to enjoy equal privileges. I said the same thing one Reddit commented, that our kids are not equal. It is unfair of him to push this equal privilege thing when our kids don't have the privilege of coming home to a complete family because their father was a nasty cheater. At least his other kids get a full-time dad and a full house. They don't have to shift houses every week. They don't have to go to therapy to understand why their lives are different. And all of this happened because he can't even be strong enough to keep his marital vows. He failed as a father to them, and he failed as a husband to me. And not only that, he had the audacity to blame me for the divorce. I told him if the roles were reversed, and it was me who cheated and got pregnant with another man's baby, would he accept me and the baby in his life? I still yet to get the answer. He just said he was sorry and hung up. Sorry for venting. I've been having a really stressful day. I have yet to talk to my mom and brother about this issue. I can't wait to go to Italy and drown myself in wine and stuff myself with real Italian pasta and pizza. I'm 32 female, married to my wife, 40 female. My dad, Jeff, married my mom when I was 4 and adopted me. Never met my bio dad, who's since passed away. Jeff had a baby, my sister Sam, 26, with my mom when I was 6, and left us to be with the woman he was cheating on my mom with online when Sam was just a few months old. His new wife lived a few states away and has 3 sons who are now 26, 32, and 36. His wife despises us. Her middle son is my age and would always brag about the things Jeff bought them and did with them. He even gave my stepbrothers the guitar my grandpa left me when he died. But I digress. Just to put this into perspective, when Jeff married my mom, he made $17K a year and would take my B-Day money for gas because he didn't have any money. With his new wife, they had quite a bit more and had no qualms about showing off everything they bought for their sons. They moved back to our city when I was 15, and each of the boys had their own room with their own desktops and the latest gaming consoles. My sister and I shared a bed in their guest room with a TV from the 90s. That really wasn't why I disliked going over there, though. It was super uncomfortable and felt like I was living with strangers. Not to mention, my stepmother was just very obvious about not liking us. I stopped going over there less than a year after he moved back, and he eventually apologized when I was about to graduate high school. At the time, I had a long-distance first girlfriend and saved up my money from work to go visit her. I asked Jeff if I could, and he said yes. After all, I was 18, it was my own money, and would just be for the weekend, so I wouldn't be missing high school. My mom then said no, but Jeff said he talked to her and convinced her. As a teenager, I was looking for any excuse to be able to go, so I took that and went with it. I bought my plane ticket and went, which of course ended up badly. My mom went ballistic, saying Jeff never talked to her, and in fact, Jeff just got off the phone with her and recommended she kick me out. That was when I cut all contact with him. Over the last 10 years, he reached out, made promises to visit my wife and I, who were now living in her home country. He asked me to plan his itinerary, and he'd be there on the dates I said. So I spent weeks planning it, and he said he bought everything. I was so excited because no one had ever visited me before. A week before, he goes, "Hey, your stepmom would like to go to a resort in your country, on the other side of the country, instead, and we will pay for your guys' plane tickets to meet us there." He knew I'd never accept that, and I knew that meant he had lied about buying tickets, plus hotel to see us, so I literally just never responded to him. I should mention he was a professional drummer in a rock band, which eventually broke up after relative success. And he is now selling insurance. Nothing against that, just not what he wanted to do. I just received a bit of success from music, which was on the local news of my hometown. He reached out once more recently, blaming my mom for everything and saying he worked all these jobs to try to support us. Lies. I cut him off completely. Now he is sharing all these posts about my success as if he has something to do with it, and all his family members are messaging me and adding me after ignoring me almost my entire life so far. Would I be the a-hole if I just ignore them all and block? Part of me does feel bad, as most of them never were rude to me, but it seems very convenient. Why OP hasn't completely gone no contact with her dad is mind-boggling. The guy is a piece of crap, and OP doesn't owe him a single thing. I think OP needs to block everyone on anything. OP should not let Jeff treat her the way he is treating OP, because OP just keeps hurting herself. And now let's hear the community's opinion on the matter. Roll Tigers 55 says, "You don't owe him a thing. Enjoy your success. You earned it. If you give a mouse a cookie." Chicken Sour 1 says, "You're definitely not the a-hole, and I'm proud of you for realizing what you had to for your own sanity, mental health, and did what's right for you and your partner. Your dad seems like a narcissist, and seems like he only talks to you when it's convenient for him. Hold your ground, and don't feel like you owe your dad, extended family anything, success or not. You're going places, and narcissists hate to see other people do better, or happy for that matter. Cut him off. I promise you'll sleep better. I did some years ago. Enjoy your success with those who make you happy, and have been there for you since the beginning. Cheers." My fiancé, Reggie, 57 male, and I, 52 female, got engaged a year ago and have planned our wedding for October this year. It's a second marriage for each of us, and each of us has 3 adult children, for a total of 6. 2 weeks before the Save the Date announcements went out for our wedding, Reggie's son, Athel, 34, got engaged to his girlfriend, Patrice, 28. A week after the announcements went out, we learned Athel and Patrice were planning to get married at the end of January 2024. We are very happy for them and have wished them well. However, Athel and Patrice texted Reggie the same day they received the Save the Date announcement, demanding that Reggie and I postpone or cancel our wedding, saying they had waited patiently while Reggie's other adult children, Samantha and Gina, got married in 2021 and 2022, and now it's their turn to go next. Patrice says we have taken all of the joy out of their wedding by getting married before they do, and Athel is no longer even speaking to his father. In her last text message to Reggie, Patrice demanded that Reggie rectify the situation immediately if he cares at all about the happiness of his son and Patrice. There is no way to speak to them about the situation, as they no longer respond to calls or texts. I think there's just one text that they want, saying we've canceled our wedding. Reggie went to their house and knocked on the door, and they looked out the window, but refused to open the door and speak to him. We haven't canceled or postponed our wedding, and Reggie has never even asked me to consider it. But last night, his daughter Gina said she's going to support Athel and not come to our wedding, and she said she'd be very surprised if Athel invites Reggie or me to his wedding if we don't cancel or postpone. She also said that getting married in order was a rule that Athel announced when they were all kids. Reggie and I had no idea about the rule, and since we're not one of the siblings, we wouldn't have applied it to ourselves in any case. Reggie and Athel have had a rather cool relationship since Reggie's divorce, 5 years before I came into the picture. But Athel has now drawn a line in the sand that appears, if crossed, to mean that he will no longer have any relationship with his father. Am I the a-hole if I don't preemptively offer to cancel or postpone our wedding to help Reggie salvage his relationship with his son? Maleficent Mistake 50 says, "Elope and don't attend the wedding. All these kids sound like toddlers when they're supposed adults in their 30s. Come on, not the a-hole." Pinebox Waiting says, "Not the a-hole. I don't understand why it matters. I'm guessing the divorce was rough and the kids blame Reggie. A parent remarrying can be stressful regardless of your age." The Feral One says, "Not the a-hole. Just an adult child throwing a temper tantrum and trying to gain some control."